Full moon's here again. It's a time of illumination, reflection, and release. And I so often get asked about the full moon and how to merge the world of woo with the science behind the full moon in order to best support your holistic lifelong wellness. And that's what I'm here to do. My name is Robin Richards, your holistic lifelong wellness teacher. And today we're going to examine how the full moon is recognized as such a powerful force, not only across cultures and throughout history, but within our own bodies. So let's go ahead and start with the science. Now, what you need to know is that the full moon most powerfully connects with water, specifically the tides in the oceans. And with the gravitational force of the full moon, when it's at its peak, it influences the movement of the water through the tides coming in and out. You have to be able to understand that our bodies, our human bodies, are about 60% water. So there's subtle influence that's happening there as well. And studies show that sleep patterns can actually shift during a full moon, which many people experience as restlessness. Could it be because of that gravitational pull on the water that's in our bodies? Perhaps, but there is data that shows the sleep and the behavior changes that happen with the full moon, especially if you are a medical professional or, as I used to be working in public education, you might even see the full moon trending with behavior patterns in people. As a former educator and school administrator, I saw firsthand how student behavior would spike around the full moons. We even pulled data and tracked the amount of referrals that we had for behaviors, and they always spiked around the full moons. There was just more energy, more emotions, more unpredictability. And the emergency room staff often report an increase in hospitals during this time, as well as I believe I've heard people talk about more births happening around the full moon. But that's anecdotal. But there is science, as I just mentioned, that has data to back some of these findings. Now, the science hasn't fully explained all of these effects, but it is undeniable that the full moon holds this energetic presence that we feel both in these subtle ways and profound. Now, beyond that, there are many traditions that see the full moon as a time of heightened energy and spiritual activation. In energy work, like for me as a Reiki master teacher, there's a component where the full moon amplifies whatever is present. So it can bring emotions to the surface, it can increase intuition, and it also offers a really profoundly powerful time for releasing anything that no longer serves you and renewing your energy. So putting it into that energy alignment. Therefore, the moon acts as a form of a mirror. It, goes through a cycle. And so we know that a full moon is going to come again. And therefore, we know that we can reflect during these times with the light that comes from that full moon to be able to see what is it in our lives that we need to release and bring renewal to. So, really, it's a time energetically of letting go. It's the peak. The full moon is the peak of the lunar cycle. And it's a time for us as individuals to recognize what has reached its fullness in our lives and is ready to be released because it no longer serves us. Now, moving into a cultural perspective and also talking about femininity. Indigenous traditions, specifically many Native American tribes, have names for each of the full moons based on the natural rhythms of the earth. At the time of this recording, it is about to be the February full moon, which is the snow moon. So that, as an example, was named for the heaviest snowfall of the year, which often occurs in February. And it's a time of deep rest, reflection, and preparation for the renewal that is the emerging spring just around the horizon. Now, additionally, as a woman myself, now I'm currently in menopause, but when I was in my fertile years, I can identify that women are represented in these 28-day cycles. In fact, in many cultures, the menstrual cycle is referred to the moon cycles. And That's why the moon has long been associated with feminine energy, because just as it's about 29 and a half days for the full moon cycle, a woman's menstrual cycle is around 28 days as well. So there's some synergistic components there. Now, many women will report anecdotally that their menstrual cycle might align with the moon, bleeding on the new moon and ovulating on the full moon, or vice versa. It's really, dependent on each individual, but there is a connection that reminds us that our bodies are cyclical, not linear. And that's why so many women feel a deep instinctive pull towards full moon rituals, because our bodies and spirits have been in tune with this rhythm for generations. And that takes me to, why do rituals matter? Because in our fast paced world, rituals help ground us. It's one of the biggest missing pieces for the modern woman, especially. Rituals give us structure, they give us intention and connection. And those are all things that we need in order to fully function in our fast paced world. Rituals help to regulate your nervous system. They engage you in an intentional practice. So, just like journaling, breath work, lighting a candle, going to a yoga class, mindful eating, all of those things activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which helps you shift from stress into a state of calm, which is your rest and digest state. These rituals also provide a tool for you to create a system in your life that helps you to reset and recalibrate. We are not static. We are ever growing, ever emerging beings. Life changes inside of us and outside of us. Emotions rise and emotions fall. Seasons shift. So just as nature recalibrates, we must as well. Now, rituals are also holistic wellness practices for growth. That's why I teach inner fitness, intuitive eating, and energy alignment all together, so that you have tools to recalibrate as you evolve. So, using a ritual like the full moon to be able to assess where you are, you then bring in those inner fitness, intuitive eating, and energy alignment practices to help align your life. Now, remember, you don't have to do this alone. That's why I've created the Women's Wellness Collective for you, to provide support as well as through community and an educational experience with many free resources, so that we can learn, grow, and align our wellness with our lives. You will find education, encouragement, and connection, including workshops, different guides and handouts, and the community component with posts Monday through Friday there as well. So let's get to now what a full moon ritual for release and renewal could look like for you. Remember, these are all invitations. Take what you need, leave the rest. Here's one example. You can create a space that is sacred just by lighting a candle, burning some sage, or maybe even Palo Santo, and just settle into stillness. Once you do that, you then can spend some time reflecting and releasing. Perhaps that's writing down anything that you're ready to let go of, old patterns, limiting beliefs, lingering emotions. And when you write those down, you could choose to rip up the pieces of paper and toss them and as a symbol of releasing. Or if you have a space where you can safely burn the paper, you also could do that to symbolize your release. Remember, always safety first. Now, after you have cleansed and cleared through releasing whatever it is that you would like, now it's time to speak or write new affirmations that align with the energy that you want to cultivate moving forward. And it could just be an intention of being open to receive whatever it is that will best serve and support you moving forward. From there, you want to take a few deep breaths, stretch, or perhaps dance, moving and integrating that energy, embodying your renewed sense of alignment and intentions moving forward. Whatever this looks like for you, just remember that the full moon is a gift. It is a reminder to pause, release, and realign with your highest self. Use this time to come back to you. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments how you will be honoring this upcoming full moon. And don't forget, you have an opportunity to join the Women's Wellness Collective with the link down there for even more support on your holistic, lifelong wellness journey. Until next time, stay aligned, reflective, and well.